Mabuhay, Kamustika, welcome. How are you? This is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. I was checking my phone here to see when this pops up so I can see any comments you guys might have. This is 8:30 and it is Tuesday, so I'm a little bit off here. I was going to do this yesterday, and so I want to talk about what it's like to be married to a beautiful woman. In the case of many people that watch this channel, that would be a beautiful Filipina. So I hope that someone will be able to join me here tonight. This will be in two parts. We'll probably do it again on Thursday. Um, this is Love Beyond the Sea. This is a biblical pro marriage channel to try to help men who are serious about being with a woman, um, serious about getting married. If you want to marry somebody overseas, like I did, a woman from the Philippines, I think this channel can help you, but I don't think you have to have married a woman from the Philippines to get benefit from Love Beyond the Sea. I also have podcasts on casting beyond the sea. And there we go. We'll try to find my place here today. So I'm going to read my piece here and say what I have to say on this topic, which is the reality of being married to a beautiful woman. And that'll take just a little bit of time, and then I will go back to the comment section and look at those. So get started here. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be married to a beautiful woman? You know, man, if I ever was, that guy, he's so lucky. I wish that was me. Well, I'll tell you what it's like here tonight on Love Beyond the Sea. Please subscribe for straight talk about being married to a Filipina, where I delve into many practical issues of day to day life being married to a woman from the Philippines. And we've been married for over 6 years. You don't have to agree with me to leave a comment or to chime in on this live stream. Don't forget about getting notifications by tapping that bell symbol. Now, when I was in grade school, there was a song that I remember playing on the radio by Dr. Hook in the medicine show called When You're in Love with a Beautiful Woman. And I will have a link to that song from the Midnight Special, among other places, in the description box. And I do remember watching that show. Here are the lyrics, then we'll dissect it. When you're in love with a beautiful woman, it's hard. When you're in love with a beautiful woman, you know it's hard. Everybody wants her. Everybody loves her. Everybody wants to take your baby home. When you're in love with a beautiful woman, you watch your friends. When you're in love with a beautiful woman, it never ends. You know that it's crazy. You want to trust her. Then somebody hangs up when you answer the phone. When you're in love with a beautiful woman, you go it alone. Maybe it's just an ego problem. Probably, the problem is that I've been fooled before by fair weather friends and faint hearted lovers. And every time it happens, it just convinces me more. When you're in love with a beautiful woman, you watch her eyes. When you're in love with a beautiful woman, you look for lies. Everybody tempts her. Everybody tells her she's the most beautiful woman they know. When you're in love with a beautiful woman, you go it alone. When you're in love with a beautiful woman, you watch your friends. When you're in love with a beautiful woman, it never ends. When you're in love with a beautiful woman, you watch her eyes. Do you remember that song, Dr. Hook and the Medicine Show? I would probably date that back to the 70s. There are various considerations when you are aware that you are with a beautiful woman. I want to talk about here today. Please leave comments. And after I say my piece here, I'll go back and look for comments. I do believe that being married to her does help back some people off as opposed to just dating her, where the two of you are an item. I want to do this topic justice, so hang on. I will use some of the lyrics from the song to illustrate my points. Let's start with what others think. And by the way, I'll finish this up probably on Thursday on another live stream. Don't know what time, just whenever I feel like doing that. What others think. What it's like being married to a beautiful Filipina is more profound than merely saying, it's great. To start, I'll assume that the marriage is good. What it's like can be influenced by outside factors, such as the opinions of others and how they react to you. It is possible you may have friends that are jealous and you won't hear from them as much anymore now that you're with a beautiful woman. You might notice people at work look at you a little differently than usual, or more people suddenly know your name or say hello than ever before. And maybe some family members will indicate that they are uncomfortable with you marrying a beautiful and often by inference, younger Filipina. Now they are suddenly confronted with people they know asking about your relationship. At worst, you may become the butt of jokes, or some unscrupulous person will try to intrude on that relationship. What you think, or I should say, what you think, as opposed to what others think, is another important element. What you believe about marrying a younger, pretty Filipina is the most important thing. You know you have done what others may have wanted to do, but didn't. There's nothing wrong with desiring to marry a younger woman from the Philippines, and you can, but having it work out is a whole different matter, which I labor to shed light on here on Love Beyond the Sea. I strongly recommend not to brag about having a beautiful Filipina. That only serves to fan the flames of criticism or jealousy. It can also make your wife feel like you married her for her beauty alone, which would hurt her and make it harder for her to love you. Having said that, I wouldn't try to live a secluded life with her, and I am not timid about displaying photos of her and us together, as anyone in my locker room at work can attest. So, what God thinks is another important thing. There is no biblical instruction on rules, or rules rather, on getting married. There is just basic principles that I've outlined in previous videos you can find in the Young Wife playlist. One of them is one for the ages, age gap with a Filipina. That's one I will link for you. I only thought about a younger wife when it became evident to me that I would need to look in another country for somebody to marry. I had no shame when looking for my wife because, I knew of no biblical admonition against it. The main thing is to get married, which I hadn't been able to do. If wanting to marry a younger, prettier Filipina violates your conscience, then I would hold off, you know, on that. What is it like? What is it like? I hope that anyone who is married is attracted to their wife. That's almost always part of marrying someone. An interesting dynamic, though, for an older Westerner is that normally at his age, his wife does not look like this beautiful Filipina. I am nearly 60. I love looking at my wife. I admire her beauty when she sleeps or when she is just looking at her phone. I love looking at her hair, her skin, her face. I love looking at her in photos and videos. I love hearing the sound of her voice. I love holding her. To me, she hasn't changed a bit in over 6 years of marriage. Aesthetically speaking, it's great. One time someone suggested to me that a plain woman was better than a good looking one, ostensibly because other men then would be trying to get the attractive one away from me. So it's better to marry a plain one, they thought. Now, that statement kind of implies that either one automatically makes for a good spouse, but a plain looking wife doesn't come equipped with, you know, maturity necessarily. The looks are wonderful and naturally desired by a man looking for a wife. It doesn't make my love for her uh, change. I believe my love for my wife will be consistent because it has to be. I married her. My looks will change, her looks will change, things will change, but my love and attraction to her will not. Now, I'll give more detail about this topic, so please be around for part two of what it's like to be married to um, a beautiful woman. And I hope you will subscribe here to Love Beyond the Sea. That will be on Thursday. Maayan Buntag, hello, John. You may be the only one here tonight. I decided just to do this. Um, was going to do it yesterday and didn't work out. So, John, that's my piece on part one. What it's like being married to a beautiful woman. A lot of things that could be talked about with this. It's essentially an age gap topic. I've got lots of age gap videos and in a playlist that I mentioned earlier, and it seems to get people talking. And so, since I've had my piece there, we can talk about anything you want with the age gap situation, being married to a beautiful woman. You know, you could ask about jealousy. What do I notice other people looking at us? So I know there's only a couple people here. John, it might be you and me. Those might be the only two people. So if you don't have any questions that you want to talk to me about, uh, John, then I will just wrap this up and do part two on Thursday, so people can see this briefly. Um, I suppose some people could have trouble if they have a 40, 50-year age gap. I suppose that's going to be something they deal with if they are going to move her from the Philippines to America. I think age gap relationships are more common over there and less likely to attract attention and criticism. Personally, I haven't noticed any of it in being with my wife here since, oh boy, probably 5.5 years. Not noticed anything. Immediately, I took my wife to meet all the people that I had to do with in life, important people, important, services, doctors, financial advisor, anybody like that, family, of course. Tried to get her to meet my friends, but that proved difficult. That's where I think there is some jealousy that comes out when you're married to a younger woman, and that's just the way it is. Less than 1% of marriages in the United States have a 20-year age gap. So if you have more than that, you're kind of looked down on. But I haven't noticed any criticism. I mean, you want to try to look nice. As I've said before, if she thinks certain clothes look good on you, I would wear that for her sake. Try to take care of yourself. Um, Try to be everything that she wants you to be in a husband. I hate it when I see um, younger Filipinas with older Westerners, and it just seems more like a caretaker situation, because I don't think that's really fair to her. So there is a great blessing in having a younger wife, I think, and that's something to you can pursue, but I don't think it is for everybody. I think there's some guys that just don't work out well with that type of woman, probably the controlling type, probably the type of guy who doesn't want to get out much and do things anymore. And after all, he's a lot older. Maybe he's done everything he wants to do. Well, now that you've got her here in your country, like I do, then you need to open up and start doing things that she wants to do. And I think the age gap relationship can work. Make sure you tell her how beautiful she is, compliment her often. You don't want her to hear it from other people more than she hears it from you. So I'm going to end this live stream. We'll pick it up again not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. We'll do it Thursday, and maybe I need to announce it a little bit more. Before that, I don't have 1,000 subscribers, so I can't really do a post, or else I would. So, John, thank you for stopping by. We're going to cut this off now. I've said what I needed to say, and we'll try this again for part two in a couple of days on Thursday. Just have to check for the time here on Love Beyond the Sea.